We're in a box, right? Right? Okay, so here's what we're doing. The Let's Box reading strategy is right over here. And we have the 7 steps. And the reason why I call it the Let's Box reading strategy is because the first thing that students do is they draw a rectangular box around the title. I tell my students that when they are reading, they have to interact with the text. Sometimes it's difficult to have students show their work or know that they are working. So by using the nonfiction reading strategy, we can see the students thinking on paper as they interact with the text. So we have right here number 1, step number 1. And Herman, do me a favor. Read step number 1. What does it say?
Number 1, box in and read the title.
Box in and read the title. That's why I call this reading strategy Let's Box. Because the first thing you do is put a box around the title. So please do that now. Step number 1, put a box around the title. Heidi, do me a favor and read step number 2. What does step number 2 say?
Number 2, trace and number the paragraphs.
Exactly. Trace and number the paragraphs. How many paragraphs do we have here? 1. So it makes it very easy for us to trace these paragraphs, or trace this paragraph. They have to number the paragraphs. So after they're reading, if there are reading comprehension questions that do come up, they're able to refer back to the text and identify the paragraph where they obtain the information from. Ivan, read number 3.
Number 3, stop and think at the end of each paragraph to identify a key point.
Okay, so we need to stop and think to identify a key point. We're going to stop and think. So what we need to do next is read the paragraph. Read the paragraph. So here's what I would like. I would like to have a volunteer read this paragraph for us to the class. Who would like to read? Frankie G., you're going to read for us.
Volunteers wanted. Abraham Lincoln's election as president led several southern states to succeed.
After they stop and read each paragraph, they are to stop and think and either use the margin to jot down key points from the text or highlight or underline keywords or main ideas from each paragraph. Okay, let's stop right there. Take a look at the reading strategies over here. And Daniel, do me a favor. Can you read number 4? Can you see it from there?
Number 4, circle the keyword or write the key point in the margin.
Okay, so we're at step number 4, and here's what we need to do. We're going to circle the keywords or write the key points in the margin. And as you can see, I gave you a very, very big margin on the left-hand side of your paper. When it comes time for the questions at the end of the text, students are to identify the keywords and the question. So that way students are able to understand what the question is actually asking them. After students identify the key words or the important information within the question, students are to prove their answer. And this is where identifying and numbering the paragraphs really come into play. Students are to, in the margin next to each question, identify the paragraph where they obtained that information from. So the teacher knows that they did indeed read and that they are able to go back within the text and see where the students receive that information. The last step in the nonfiction reading strategy is for students to mark their answer. That may be filling in a bubble in a multiple choice type of question or writing out their question in a complete sentence answer. I see my students performing at a higher level using these AHA strategies. They seem more focused, and it seems that they're more organized in their thinking and in the way that they conduct their daily habits.